Okay, so all going well, we should be live. Just wait for a few people to jump on. So one of the things about this training session was that I said that it'd be really simple and really easy to understand. So what I want to do is kind of deliver kind of manageable bits of information that you can take away and then use in your business and come back. So I was going to wait a couple of minutes. So to all the people who are watching the US, there will be a replay. I have a lot of subscribers over in the US. Fantastic. Hi Simon, how you doing? A lot of people coming on. Fantastic. Jonathan, how you doing? Nice to see you. Just let me know if you can hear me. I've got a bit of a mic thing set up, so I want to make sure you can hear me okay. It's my favourite trick is putting the microphone in, not turning it on. Okay, so essentially what this series is all about, it's all about being able to give you manageable information that you can use in your own business. And what I find with, hi Emma, how are you doing? What I find with the internet is that it's very confusing because there's a lot of information out there. And it doesn't take a genius to work it out that there's a lot of people overwhelmed in the business, not really able to do anything because they're kind of paralysed by too much information. Okay. Hi Becky, how are you? Good to see you. Hope your injury is going okay. Right, so what I want to do is I'll crack on. Get yourself a pen and paper. Get yourself a cup of tea. Okay, always have a cup of tea ready. And we're going to crack on. Right, so this is all about laying the foundations for a successful business. And I speak to a lot of people in business, and a lot of people miss out the essential ingredient of what I'm going to talk about tonight, and it's all about laying the right foundations. If you've seen my bootcamp, then I touch on this subject quite a lot because it really forms everything that you do in business. And hi Julia, how are you? Nice to see you. So in essence, what I'm talking about is a lot of people get involved in business and they get their head down and they just go they're making sales, they're doing what they need to do, and they're not really focused because they haven't got these foundation stones in place. And the way I like to talk about it, I like to sort of talk in analogies. And the analogy I like to sort of raise is it's a bit like when you're building a house, and you know that you have to build a foundation, you have to dig the foundations, you have to put the foundations in, strong foundations, and you build from there. And there are a lot of people who I speak with, and they get involved in some training. We have a session, a strategy session, and the first day they bring the roof tiles. You know what I mean? And they've got the big bag of roof tiles, and they go, I say, what are you doing with them? They say, well, I'm going to build a house. I'm going to build my business. I'm going to start from the top down. And I say, no, you can't. You can't do that. You've got to start with the foundations. You've got to start with the foundations and build up. And there are so many people trying to build their business in reverse, and it doesn't work. I've done it before. I'm sure a lot of people out there watching this, if you're building a business, maybe you're not getting the momentum that you want, and it's because maybe you haven't got these foundations in place. Hi Paul, how are you? Nice to see you. So it's all about getting the foundations in place. So what is the first foundation you need? Well, when I set up any business, what I always do is look at the end goal and say, right, and most people attach some sort of monetary value to that. And people will say, well, okay, maybe I can replace my income, maybe I can make 100,000. Some people come up with that figure, and some people who are slightly on the more delusional end of the spectrum say, I want to make $1 million, in 3 months. Obviously, that's not, that's those sort of people. But if you've got an end goal in mind, then that's a number. That's a number. Now, what I always say is never limit yourself by what you think you're capable of right now. Okay, let me say that again. Never limit yourself by what you think you're capable of right now. So if you want to make an extra 50,000 or 100,000 or whatever it is, then write it down. But the important thing to do with this is attach some meaning to that figure. You see what I mean? A lot of people, they say they come up with a monetary figure and they go after that figure, but everything they do in their marketing is almost without any substance because there's no meaning attached to it. Yeah. So you'll say, "Hi Simon, how you doing?" So it's all about attaching that meaning to your end goal. Okay, you get into business. What do you want to achieve at that business? So you have some focus. Delilo, how are you? Nice to see you. So what is your end goal? And then attach the meaning to it. So with an extra 50,000, I could do this. With an extra 100,000, this is what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so maybe I can retire. Maybe I can do this full time. Maybe I can do whatever. Hi Simon, how's things? So with that monetary figure, then what you need to do is break it down, okay, to make it achievable. So break it down. I'll talk in very round figures because maths isn't my forte. But if you look at, great to see you too, Danilo. Hi there. So break it down. I'm going to round figures 100,000, okay, and work backwards. So if you're on 100,000, then you work it through to what is that in a month, and what is that in a week, and what is that per day, and then what do I have to do in order to achieve that? So it comes down to three things. First of all, what is your end goal? Think about what it is, get focused and put meaning to that. Then if you work it back, what it is per month, per day, etc., etc., then what is your product? What are you actually selling? And when I go back to when I first started in this business, this online marketing business. Hi Roy, nice to see you, mate. I was kind of blown away by the possibility of being able to leverage the internet. You see people doing things and you go, wow, I didn't realise I could do that. Now I can do this, and now I can do video, and now I can have 10 presentations going at once. I can leverage the internet and really, scale things up. How fantastic. What's my product line? Well, when I first started, it was $7 ebooks. Now, if you attach $7 ebooks to your £100,000, target, you've got to sell a damn lot of ebooks to get to that level. Do you know what I mean? So, what is your product? So, if your goal is 100, is your product staircase, as they call it, good enough and congruent enough to generate that kind of revenue? Okay, so it's all about numbers, knowing your numbers. So what is your product staircase? And the interesting thing is, what you need to do is all your products need to be kind of what we call congruent. It's one of those marketing terms where everything is the same and everything complements each other. So we can build up and build up and build up. So that's the first thing. The other thing in terms of having the foundations in place is knowing who your target market is. Now this is a huge thing, because I know a lot of people are just kind of guessing. They're kind of guessing the target market. And it's not until you know what your end game is, with what your product line is, to what your target market is. Okay, so they're the three things. You need those three things in place. Now, when you're thinking about, okay, I'm going to start scaling things up, and I'm going to start, to do a bit more, and you look at things like advertising with Facebook and advertising with Google, possibly, maybe a bit old-fashioned these days, you're going to need to know who your target market is. And the thing is, with Facebook, you can find out anything. You can find out whether they eat with their mouth open, whether they eat hula hoops with the mouth open, and if they've got bad breath. You can drill it down to such an nth degree. Now the thing is with selecting your target market is, we always say go for somebody very much like yourself, because you can then talk to people in that voice. So with me being an ex-police officer, is it a good idea to maybe go after police officers? Maybe, martial arts. I'm a martial arts instructor as well. So is it a good idea to go for them? Certainly I can speak to them in the right way, but is the product staircase going to appeal to them? Okay. So in terms of selecting your target market as well, those target markets sometimes change. And this, let me give you a little story. When I first started my karate club, and there's a lot of people watching from the karate club, so nice to see you. I was asked by, hey Sam, how are you? Nice to see you. We've got a fellow expert Facebook Live on with us. So when I first started my karate club, it was all about, I was asked by my local community centre to start a club. Can you start a club? Can you come and teach the kids? Yes, I can. So I went to teach the kids, and very good, very successful, lots of people on the first day. And what happened was a lot of them quit. So you're battling retention rates because it was a kind of a low income sort of area. And then I started the karate club at a slightly better area because I knew what I actually wanted was people who could afford the training and go to the courses and be able to afford the products that I was supplying, and that's what I did. And I kind of got more people on board, and I introduced families, and what happened was over a period of time I kind of grew my audience, and I found who my target audience was simply by trial and error. And it came to be that it was families, middle class families, and it was fantastic. So when you're selecting your own target market, it's going to be a lot of trial and error. Maybe you'll put a Facebook ad on, and maybe it won't work, and you'll go, why didn't it work? And you try and find out why. But a lot of people, they go, well, it didn't work, so that's it, I'm quitting, and that's it. So drill down and always test your target market. So the other thing about when you go to the end game, remember we're talking, £100,000, dollars a year business. When you put a plan together, your business plan, based on your products and based on your target market, that is a business plan that works. Okay, so if you come into the business and you say, I want to replace my income, and I want to earn 30,000 a year. So you put yourself a business plan together that makes you 30,000 a year. Now, do you think you're going to make 50? No, you're not. Okay. Would you make 25? Possibly. Okay. But if your target is 100, do you think you'd make 20 or 25? Well, you probably would. Would you make 100? There's more chance of making 100 because you've got all those steps in place. Okay. So you know what your end goal is, you know what your product staircase is, and you've got more of an idea of who your target market is. And you need all those three before you do anything. Okay. There's so many people with a head down, not really understanding anything about their numbers, not really understanding anything about their target market, and there's no real focus. They don't know where they're going or what they're doing, And if you have all those three in place, then you've got a much better idea of where you're going, and certainly a lot better idea of building a successful business. So that's really going to be the cornerstone for everything that we do within these trainings. It's all going to come down to your products and your target market. Because if you do anything like, say, SEO, then the first thing you need to do is establish the keywords. And you establish the keywords by finding out who your target market is and also what you're selling. So everything within these foundation stones forms everything to do with your business. It's really, really important. I can't emphasize it enough. So if you've got a pen and paper, write all these things down. Write these down, because tomorrow we're going to be carrying on with more training. And what I'm going to be doing is referring back to today's training. Okay, so number one, your end game. How much do you want to earn? Seriously, and don't sort of sit there and say, well, maybe I could earn this, or maybe I could earn that, or my business right now is doing this, so therefore this is probably possible. Just think about what you actually want, not what you're capable of right now, or what you think you're capable of doing right now. Secondly, products. Have you got the right products in place? Are you selling $7 ebooks, and $27 training and $97 training, okay? Because if you're not, then you're going to need your low tier. So you've got your low products, low value products as tripwires and entries into market to get people in. You're going to need your mid-tier products, and you're going to need your top-tier products as well. So you're going to need to have the whole range of products available to make it easier for you. And also an idea of who your target market is. Because if you don't know who you're talking to, then you're going to appeal to nobody. I spoke to a guy a little while ago, and he was talking about setting up a magazine business, and I said, who's your target market? And he said, everybody. I said, it can't be everybody. It's got to be drilled down to a certain niche, because you're only going to write and appeal to a certain demographic. So get that important. It's really, really important to get your target market right, and that's always going to be shifting. You may, as I said before, when hi Darren, how are you? Nice to see you. Ellie, nice to see you as well. Your target market may shift, and it may take a little bit of time to establish that. If you're new in business, or if you set up a different product line, then that target market may shift. But once you've got it down, and once it's working for you, then that is the basis on which you can really build your business. Okay. So what I'm going to be doing is, if anyone's got any questions, just put them straight up into the questions, and I can see if I can. Steve McKendry, how you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Put them in the questions, but I wanted to keep these trainings kind of quite short, because I did a talk at the college a little while ago, and I spoke non-stop for 2 hours. So I have a tendency to sometimes go on, but I do want to sort of keep these nice and short. Okay, so if you've written anything down, put down target market, identify target market, look at your products, and look at your end game, and also attach some meaning to those figures. If you want to make an extra 50,000, then why do you want to make an extra 50,000? Don't just pluck numbers out of the air. Make it kind of real for you. Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to be coming back live at 7 o'clock. A lot of people have been speaking about video marketing, because obviously video is what I do. And hi Alex, how you doing, mate? So video is what I do, but there's a big difference between making good videos and being a good video marketer. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the two. I may do a webinar at some point, because I know that's going to be a bit more in depth, and really you want some screen sharing going on. So we'll do that. So I'm going to be back tomorrow at 7. Okay, if you've got any requests for any information that you want, because these trainings aren't just me just yakking to you. Hi Alex, nice to see you, mate. I want to get some feedback, find out what you want to learn, and we'll go from there. So I think, what are we on now? Yeah, we're 17 minutes in. God, it goes quick. Okay, so take the information, think about your foundation stones, write everything down, find out what you want to learn, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. tomorrow, same time, same place. Any links that I'll put them in this Facebook. It's my Facebook page, isn't it? And I'll also go onto my fan page as well. So it does go quick, doesn't it, mate? Okay, so I'll leave you with that before I start waffling and going off and talking about something else. Back at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Give me some feedback, and we'll speak tomorrow. All right, speak soon. Bye.